What's up guys, JJ here, and today I'm going to give you an easy to understand, no nonsense guide on cycling a tank and what the nitrogen cycle is, so stay tuned. Well, as many of you guys know, I work in a pet store, I clean aquariums, I deal with fish and people who keep fish every day, and it still blows me away in the age of the internet that more people don't know what cycling a tank is or don't know what the nitrogen cycle is when they start keeping fish. So I wanted to make the easiest, simplest video I could, and I taught elementary school for 10 years now, so this is going to be easy enough for my kindergartners to understand. Are you ready? So, cycling a tank. What is it? Cycling a tank is making sure that when your fish poop, and that creates ammonia, which is toxic, the nitrogen cycle turns that ammonia into something less toxic. And that's as simple as we can make it. But how does it work? So basically, anything that is waste, anything that dies in your aquarium, turns into ammonia. Ammonia is not good for your fish. High levels of ammonia will have fish dead very quickly. So how do we get rid of ammonia? And that's where cycling the tank, or I'm going to use them interchangeably here, the nitrogen cycle is important. So basically what happens is that waste makes ammonia, and then there's good bacteria. Now I couldn't tell you what the name of the bacteria is. That's for bigger brains than me. This is a simple guide, remember? So there's good bacteria in your tank that turns that ammonia into nitrite, and then it turns that nitrite into nitrate. And nitrate is less toxic. You can have levels of that comfortably in your tank. Now the levels that you keep of nitrate in your tank are depending on what you have stocked, your fish, your plants, and your personal preference. We won't get too deep into those numbers today. So we know what the cycle is. I think we have an understanding of why we need it, because it gets rid of ammonia and makes your water less toxic. But how do we start it? And this is probably the most challenging thing, because you'll get dozens of different answers. I see people talking about it differently on Facebook groups and on Reddit and on YouTube videos. So here's what you need. Before you ever get fish, or before you start trying to put fish in a tank, you need to have your tank cycle, or when you put them in, you're going to have an ammonia spike and your fish are going to die. So how do you cycle it? Well, we've got to have some level of waste to feed that good bacteria so it can turn it over to nitrite and then turn it over to nitrate. I'll say it a couple times. It goes ammonia to nitrite, nitrite to nitrate. Ammonia, very bad. Nitrite, slightly less bad. Nitrate, acceptable. Okay? So for you to get your cycle started, you have to have your tank running, and there's a couple of ways to do this. Generally speaking now, because I've been keeping fish for a while, I do a fish in cycle. So, and this is really the easiest way if you have what you need. So fish in cycle. You set up your tank, you're going to need some beneficial bacteria. Let me see if I have some beneficial bacteria. Be right back.
A few moments later.
Back. So basically, there are chemicals or products out there that will get the cycle started for you. Products like API Quick Start, or what I had close to me was Chem Stability. Either is fine. I'm not a brand loyalist. This is not a sponsored post. But basically, you want to get something that says it's a biological booster, starts with beneficial bacteria, you put it in your tank, you let it run, and you start small. Do not overstock your tank. Start with 1 or 2 fish, depending on the size of your tank. But start with a very small stock, add some beneficial bacteria, let it run. If there is any ammonia, change the water, but ammonia should go to nitrite, nitrite to nitrate. That is the cycle. And the bacteria you have in your tank is what does that. So where is this bacteria? Basically, The bacteria is on any surface in your aquarium. So you can have beneficial bacteria on the glass, on the gravel, on the decorations, and in the filter. And one of the ways I like to start tanks, if you have more than one tank, it's super easy. It's just take some cycled material, something from something that's been running for a while. Maybe you have some filter media in a different tank, and you can just put that in, and that beneficial bacteria will colonize, and you'll be good to go, as long as you don't overstock your tank at first. That's the way I do it. I do a fish in cycle. I've done this to dozens of tanks. If you are doing your very first aquarium, I would do it a little differently. So if it's your first aquarium, you don't have filter media, you're not sure if you're going to be able to do it right, you don't want to lose fish, we maybe don't want to do a fish in cycle, we want to make sure everything is right before you get going. So here's how you cycle your tank without any existing cycled media. First, you're going to need a source of ammonia. I see a lot of people make this mistake. They go, I've been running my tank for weeks. How do I know that it's cycled? Well, here's how it goes. Remember, the cycle is ammonia to nitrite, nitrite to nitrate. So you're going to need a source of waste or ammonia. I've seen people dose like actual ammonia from like the cleaning chemicals department, just a little bit, and then you keep an eye on that. The beneficial bacteria should grow enough to turn that into nitrite, and then turn that nitrite into nitrate. So when is your... Oh, before I move on to that, the other way you can do it is add some waste. So maybe you sprinkle in some old fish food or some fish food, and you get that while you're setting up your tank, but don't get any fish, right? Because we're not doing a fish in cycle here. So you can sprinkle in some fish food on the daily, let it sink, let it rot. Eventually, that will cause ammonia. The beneficial bacteria will grow. They will turn that ammonia into nitrite, nitrite into nitrate. All right? And it's that simple. So how do you know when your tank is cycled? Now this is the $1,000,000 question, because a lot of people don't know. And it's just that same cycle. We've heard it over and over. Ammonia turns into nitrite. Nitrite turns into nitrate. Once you have nitrate and zero nitrite and zero ammonia, your tank is cycled. It's that simple. You don't want to put fish into a tank that has ammonia. You don't want to put fish into a tank that has nitrite. You can comfortably put fish into a tank that has a little bit of nitrates. Now, like I said, that number is up to you. Most tanks probably sit around as low as 10 to 20. People with planted tanks might want to keep 40 or more nitrate in your tank. But this isn't that guy. That's like part 2. We'll do a part 2, yeah? Like and subscribe for part 2. We'll put one in. But that's it, guys. The nitrogen cycle is ammonia to nitrite, nitrite to nitrate. Say it with me. Ammonia to nitrite, nitrite to nitrate. So you have to have a source of ammonia, or you have to already have cycled material. So you can do ammonia or food waste to get your cycle started without fish. Or you can do beneficial bacteria and cycled media. Maybe you're borrowing a friend's filter media that they were getting rid of or something like that. So you start with the source, you get the ammonia to turn to nitrite, nitrite to nitrate. I think I've said it enough times, when you have zero ammonia and zero nitrite and a little bit of nitrates, change your water, put some fish in it, and I hope this helps. And if it did, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. We're making videos at least weekly. We've got a lot of fish tanks going on. I just set up this discus tank we're working. That was a fun situation. I rescued a lot of fish. The ladies surrendered them. So we took them in. It was a strange combination, so I'm trying to find good homes for everything. There's videos about that. We've been making videos. We got a pond set up. We're talking about growing and selling fish and plants for profit. And any guides and questions you guys have, or any guides that you want to see or questions you might have, let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking for new ways to help. I try every day in the pet shop, but that's one person at a time, and YouTube is so much better. So if I can help people be better in the hobby and better at keeping fish alive and get more enjoyment out of the hobby, that's what I'm doing it for. So like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.